We are back now at 8:09 with the remarkable story of a little girl, her battle with cancer, and the gift that she left behind for her family and all of us as well. Here's NBC's John Yang.
Elena Desserich was about to turn 6 when she was diagnosed with pediatric brain cancer.
They were told us at the very beginning of it that she had 135 days to live.
She turned to drawing, and one of her pictures was displayed at the Cincinnati Art Museum, a dream come true. As the tumor progressed, it robbed Elena of her ability to speak. But this 6-year-old would not be silenced. She expressed herself to her parents in notes.
So that was her outlet in the end when she couldn't communicate with us, where she would write down stuff.
255 days after being diagnosed, Elena died. But not even that could silence her. Days after her death, her parents found another note stuffed in between books in a bookcase.
At first you look at it and you go, oh, that's very nice. And we never really thought there was anything more to it.
And they kept finding more of them.
We were finding them in our briefcases. We were finding them in our books. We were finding them in our dresser drawers. We started finding them in Christmas ornament bags.
The messages were simple, sometimes just a page full of hearts. They were addressed to her parents, her grandparents, even her great-aunt's dog, and especially to her little sister, Gracie.
Her note was a little simpler. It'd say, Gracie, go, go.
They were written on notebook paper, on Post-it notes, and on paper hearts Elena had asked her mother to cut out.
It was at that point we knew that there was some more meaning to it. It wasn't just, a random collection of notes. That she was actually, hiding these notes for us.
That was just her way of letting us know that everything would be okay.
It's wonderful for us to see the notes, and they're very hard for us to see the notes, but you hope that they never end. And we hope that years and years down the road that we're still finding these notes.
It's been more than 2 years since Elena died, and nearly a year since her parents had found one of her notes. Until this week.
Just sorting through like old coloring books, and there it was in the notebook there. So you hope that it never ends.
Notes and drawings that continue to express a very special little girl's love and affection long after she's gone. For today, John Yang, NBC News, Chicago.
Keith and Brooke Desserich have written a book honoring Elena's memory that is filled with her artwork. It's called Notes Left Behind, 135 Days with Elena. The Deserichs are at home with Elena's little sister, Gracie. Good morning to everyone.
Good morning.
Keith, good morning. Keith, Elena, truly a remarkable little girl to do what she did, to write those notes and leave them behind, as you pointed out, maybe as a message to you guys that things are going to be okay. Can you describe her to me?
Elena was frankly a very wise soul. She was old, for her years. She really taught us a lot. She was always really the teacher to us. You'd go in her room and you'd find that her books were lined up by color and also by size. She loved reading. She loved artwork. She frankly, was a teacher not only to us, but hopefully to many more beyond that.
And Brooke, as you began to find those notes, each time you would discover a new one, what was the feeling like?
Oh, it just felt like a little hug from her. Like she was telling us that she was looking over us, even though she wasn't with us.
I know that you both tried to protect her from the truth. You knew that the cancer was terminal, but you didn't tell her that she was going to die. But do you now believe that maybe somewhere inside she understood that her days were numbered, and then that's why she wanted to leave those notes behind, Keith?
I mean, I think obviously that thought does occur to us. We want to believe, frankly, that she didn't know. There's a part of you that wants to know that was never a reality to Elena. But as we read more and more of these notes, and we find so many of them, obviously it's something that we have to consider. We tried very hard to conceal it, but we can tell through the notes there's some understanding there.
And how many notes have you found so far?
Literally we have 3 big boxes full of them that we've kept around. We haven't really counted them, but sometimes we find them in notebooks, sometimes we find them on loose leaf papers. It's just kind of a scattering of it, but frankly, more than we can really fit in 1-2 containers.
Brooke, I heard that there were 2 notes that Elena had written to you and Keith that were sealed, and that you have no intention of ever opening. Why is that?
You just want to believe that we'll never stop finding notes, and I guess that's our one insurance policy is that we'll have that one note from her, and I know there's something very special in that note, but there's some sort of comfort that it will never come to an end.
Gracie, Elena was your big sister, and I know that she wrote some notes just for you, including one, "I love Gracie, go, go." What did the notes that your sister wrote to you mean to you, sweetie?
Well, she wrote a note for all of us that said, "I love you, Mom, Dad, and Gracie."
How do you remember your big sister? What do you remember most about her?
Well, I remember her by all the pictures of her that we have in the house.
Yeah, and your dad kept this journal also. Oh, go ahead, Keith.
Oh, and obviously that's the whole reason for keeping the journal. We wanted to try to pass on the memories of her sister to Gracie. You know, we wrote the journal with the entire idea of it just being for Gracie. Obviously, at this point, it's become so much more. You know, frankly, whether or not we were deciding to share it in the very beginning, and now Gracie has a journal that's 600 pages. Obviously, there's only 200 some odd pages that we're printing. But the idea is we're trying to pass on not only, obviously it's not a story about cancer, we're trying to also pass on a story about love, about compassion, about really capturing the minutes of life rather than necessarily the milestones. We talk about Gracie and Elena and how they would come up to us in the morning and they would give us cereal kisses in the morning as they would fill their cheeks with various types of sugary and chocolate cereals and then kiss us, and we had to run around with it the entire day. And really capture the essence of what her sister was all about. And that's really what the book is all about, because we knew that there was going to be some memories that frankly she wouldn't remember.
Yeah, Keith and Brooke, it is a message, and Gracie, a message of love that we all can appreciate. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for helping us feature this, and obviously also the charity. The book does benefit The Cure Starts Now, and that's really the biggest reason for us to do this, so I really appreciate it.
Not at all. And to read an excerpt from Notes Left Behind or find out more about that charity, The Cure Starts Now, head to our website, todayshow.com.